America's farms are in trouble, and family farms are the hardest hit. Tariffs, inflation, drastic cuts to federal programs, they're all taking a toll on farmers. And now the global oil shock caused by the war in Iran has made things worse. According to the latest data, farm bankruptcies in April shot up to their highest level in 6 years. Chapter 12 bankruptcies jumped 82% in just 1 month and have shot up 130% from a year ago. Meanwhile, median farm income is trending downward. According to the Wall Street Journal, roughly 90% of family-owned farms and ranches rely on alternative sources of income to survive. While some operations thrive, less than 5% of farms are profitable. Growers have been hit especially hard. According to the Department of Agriculture, America's farms contribute more than $220 billion to the U.S. economy. 95% of that comes from family-owned farms. So what are some of the biggest issues that American farmers face today? For one, President Trump's aggressive crackdown on immigrants threatens farm workers. 2/3 of all U.S. agriculture workers are non-citizen immigrants. You can like that or not like it. It's a fact. The other is the president's trade policies, which cost farmers valuable markets overseas. And amid all of this, the House of Representatives recently passed a new farm bill, the Farm, Food, and National Security Act, which has received backing from President Trump. The bill is sitting now with the Senate. It's been dogged by some contentious issues that need to be resolved in order to pass, including restrictions favored by Republicans on SNAP food assistance programs, which benefit farmers who supply the food, as well as funding for safety net programs that are meant to help farmers weather price volatility and extreme climate events. After a quick break, I'll talk to the former Senator Jon Tester, who's a third-generation farmer in Montana. All right, joining me now is the former Democratic Senator Jon Tester of Montana. He represented Montana in the United States Senate for 18 years. He's a third-generation farmer. He was a farmer while he was a U.S. Senator. He's also an MS Now political analyst. He's the co-host of the podcast Grounded with Jon Tester and Maurizio Giorgio. He's the author of the book Grounded, A Senator's Lesson on Winning Back Rural America. Senator, nice to see you again. Thank you for being with us.
It's good to be with you, Velshi. Thank you very much.
Let me ask you, it's never easy to be a farmer. Like when things are going right, it's tough because weather changes. Then we've got long-term climate changes. Then you add on tariffs. You add on the effect of the war. We're talking about diesel and fuel, but actually it's also fertilizer. And most of these are small businesses. So they need health care, they need hospitals, and they need Affordable Care Act subsidies. Like I don't know if it's been this bad to be a farmer since the Dust Bowl.
I don't think it has. You know, my wife and I have been on this farm that my grandfather homesteaded. It'll be 50 years here in 2028. We're working on transition to the next generation. But you read some statistics before during the last segment, and they were all spot on. There's one I would add to that: those 5% of farms are profitable. They're profitable because of subsidies. If you take those subsidies away, I don't think you have 5% that are profitable.
Wow.
And by the way, a business model that depends upon taxpayer-funded subsidies to be successful is a bad model. But there is no doubt about it. These are tough times for farmers with the tariffs and losing market share, with the increased input costs, and now with the war in Iran increasing fertilizer and fuel prices, and we are a fuel-intensive industry. There is just no margin. There's nothing left over to have for profitability. And I will say this, for the young farmers out there, they are especially being pounded. You know, I'll be 70 years old this year. We've got 50 years basically of trying to save and scrimp and put some money in the bank. These young farmers that are starting out, and I'm talking young, being anybody under the age of 45 or 50, those are the ones you're going to lose. You're going to lose your next generation of family farmers that is critically important for food security in this country.
How'd that happen, though? I mean, this is a country that clearly knows it depends on food. It's a net food exporter. Why are we in this position where there are so many different things? It's not one thing. It's not like one bad year. We've had climate issues. We've got drought issues. We've had trade wars that Donald Trump has started last term and this term. Why does this keep happening? Why is this not a priority for us to make farming sustainable?
I think it all has to do with the amount of money in politics myself. I think we've got to put more competition in the marketplace. The marketplace is very, very consolidated, has been for a long, long time now. If you put more competition in, capitalism work, there will be good competition, and it'll help not only the family farmers, but the consumer. But then you add on top of that really, really bad tariff policy. I mean, horrible tariff policy. Tariffs can work, but not the way this president has applied them. It just hasn't worked at all, and it's raised hell with our foreign markets, and it's increased our input cost. Equipment has gone through the roof. If you're going to buy a new combine, you better have a check that's $1 million because it's a lot of money. And I'm going to tell you, there is not the profitability, especially with the small producers, to be able to put the kind of money out for fuel, for equipment, for fertilizer that's being required right now to stay in business.
Right. And to be clear, if only 5% of family farms are profitable and it's not, it's just hard to get the loan to get that combine or keep going. So we end up seeing farms that have to sell out to larger farm operators or go out of business.
Yeah, and it's even bigger than that. Many of these farms have been in the family for generations. And I will tell you that my case and my neighbor's case, this farm is part of who you are. And when you have to sell that farm, you want to talk about why there's mental health issues in rural America? It just tortures you to death. And these folks, through no fault of their own, I might add, they're good farmers. They do things right. They watch their pennies because of bad policy. And you're right, tough climate conditions and bad markets and high input costs. They're put in a situation where they can't win, and they're doomed to failure. And that's not how this should be, because as you've already pointed out, food security is important in this country. We have folks back there in Washington, D.C. that lobby all the time to keep things the way they are, because you've got a lot of agribusiness companies that are making pretty damn good money, quite frankly.
That's right.
And if we're able to get more competition in that marketplace, it would change. If we were able to get good trade policy and get these crazy tariffs off the books, that would help. And if we could get this Iran war to stop so the energy prices would moderate back down, that would help a lot too. But none of that stuff's happening right now.
Yeah, and farmers are bearing the brunt of it. I mean, in the end, we all bear the brunt of it because we'll get the high costs, but we take advantage. People like us don't know what has to happen for that food to get to our grocery stores and then our table. Senator, always good to see you. Thank you for joining us this morning. The former Democratic Senator Jon Tester of Montana.